Stampers, it's Judy Klock here at Stampin' with Crafty Klock, coming to you on a Friday. I usually come here on Thursdays at 7:30, but yesterday I was down here and I was just involved with trying to still unbox stuff and put stuff away and figure where stuff is going, so we kind of got a little distracted and we just kind of ran out of time. So I'm coming to you today, and I am working with the beautiful hand-penned Petals Suite. This is the new annual catalog on page 105, and it comes with the suite of products. Comes with the stamp set, the matching dies, the gems, and some designer series paper. And this is the set that Patty, Jean, and I are featuring in our Summer Smash Stampin' Bingo class, which will be at the end of June. And registration is open until June 9th. So if you haven't registered yet, you're going to want to, because this is a really pretty set. And we always have a lot of fun playing bingo. Hey Denise, how are you tonight? So let's go ahead and get started. As usual, we're going to do 2 cards, and we're going to do a simple stamping card, which is really just nothing more than stamps, ink, and paper. I did add a little bit of ribbon. That's optional, but I had it, so I figured let me put it on and see what we do with that. And then our next one, we're going to really step it up. We're going to use a lot of die cuts, and we're going to make a slimline card. So let's go ahead and get started on our simple stamping card. So these, of course, are photopolymer stamps. So we do want to use either our Stamparatus with our mat or a Stampin' Pierce mat. So I have here a piece of thick Whisper White that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I'm just going to make sure to get that fold line really nice and folded with my paper bone. Okay, so now we have this card. So again, simple stamping. We're going to use our Stamparatus. This is a piece of the new In Color Designer Series paper. This is polished pink, and I actually used the colors in contour dies to cut out something else, another project, and I had all these little side edges left, and I said, wow, I'm sure I can use that for something. So I saved them, and I just cut this down to 5.5, and we are just going to lay that right along there, but we're going to add some ribbon first. And of course, I moved my ribbon off this work table. Hang on one second. So I'm going to take a piece of polished pink ribbon, probably about 6 inches. It's just going to be a little bit longer than that piece that I want to attach it to. And I'm just going to go ahead and add some Stampin' Seal Plus on the back to kind of secure that ribbon and hold it in place while we work on our card. Okay, I'm just going to wrap it around oops, I went a little too far. Let's make sure we don't. Oh my goodness. I hope everyone had a good week. Thank goodness it's Friday. I can't believe it's June already. All the kids are finishing up with school. All right, so we're just going to add some Stampin' Seal Plus, and then we're just going to align this right along the left edge on that fold line and top to bottom, even with the edges of the card. Okay, there you have it. All right, now that's all we're going to do for right now. We'll add the other piece of ribbon after we use our Stamparatus. So I'm going to pull my Stamparatus in. Let me take off the ribbon. And I'm just going to secure my card up here. Remember, make sure the magnets don't touch, because if they get stuck, they get stuck. Okay. So before I do anything, I'm going to make sure, I'm going to clean these off first, because I don't know if I cleaned them off after I made the sample card. Okay. Okay, so we're going to take this great big flower stamp, and we are going to put it, to make sure we have it where we want it, right there. And then we're going to come in here with the Anything is Possible. We're going to put that right there. Okay, once you have them placed where you think you want them, go ahead and close the cover of your Stamparatus and pick those up. Okay, they will come up. Now we're going to come back here, and we're going to take our Memento Ink, and we're going, if I can get it open, we're going to ink up these stamps. And what I love about the Stamparatus is that if we don't get a good image the first time, because everything stays in place, we can go ahead and stamp it again. All right, let's put that back in the hinge and let's go ahead and stamp. Now you just give it a light press. You don't have to press very hard, because remember, if it doesn't come out well, but I think that looks pretty good. Now the reason I didn't tie that knot on there yet was because that would have gotten in the way of this plate. So now we're done with this. We're gonna set that aside. And then we're gonna come back in here. We're gonna cut probably about a 4 to 6 inch piece of ribbon. And then I like to do the ends on an angle. You know that, right? And then we're just going to go ahead and tie this on here. Now, if you wanted to step it up, you could add some rhinestones or some other gems. You could brush Wink of Stella on the flowers. But again, we're trying to keep this as a simple card for beginning stampers. So that's all we're going to do for this simple card. So I just love black and white, and the pink just, I think, makes everything pop. So that's it for this card. And as always, don't forget, I always raffle these off. So let me know that you're here so I know who is to put in the drawing. All right, you know, a thumbs up, a hello, anything. I know Facebook doesn't really want us asking for, like, soliciting for responses, but if I don't know you're here, I can't put you in the raffle. All right, next we're going to work on our Slimline card. So the first thing I want to do is I want to stamp on the inside, and I am going to take that bottom piece of my Stamparatus because I do want the foam mat. So I'm just going to put this back in here for a minute. Okay, I don't really need these on here, but so I want to take, I'm only going to pull it out a little bit because I got to get in there. So I'm going to take the big flower, and I have 2 little flowers and 2 leaves. And we're going to use the colors that coordinate with our Designer Series paper, which is Blushing Bride, Highland Heather, Daffodil Delight, and Garden Green. So we're going to use these 4 on the inside, and then we're going to use the same 4 colors of cardstock on the outside. Okay, so first we're going to stamp our big center image in our Blushing Bride. And you could do it on the left side, you could do it on the right side. It doesn't really matter. I just picked the right. I'm going to put a little yellow flower there. Flip it around. I'm going to put a little purple flower up here. And I hope that I am on the camera. I'm trying to be cognizant of where the camera is. Okay, that's it. Let me just close up some of these. Then we have 2 leaves, a large leaf and a smaller leaf. And we're going to go ahead and add those also in our Garden Green. And that's really it for these inks. We're done with these. And I love this Slimline card. And let me give you the dimensions. You start with a piece of cardstock that's 8.5 by 7, and then you score it at 3.5. All right, so I'm going to take the large leaf and I'm going to stamp that right here. And then I'm going to take the smaller leaf and I'm just going to stamp that kind of right there. Okay, that's it for our inside. We're done because we're making a thank you card. So I don't know about you, but I like to have my thank you cards blank on the inside so that I can write a note to my recipient. And I just have to get a baby wipe because I've got ink all over my fingers. And as you can see, I've already screwed up one side of the paper when I was putting everything over here, and I don't want to have to mess it up again. So let me just put that out of the way for half a minute. I'm hoping that by the end of this month, my room here is all put together, but it's a never-ending battle. All right, I'm going to add some. I just wiped this all down and it's all wet. Let's do this. Let's put our silicone mat because we're going to need this after. That'll protect this. And then I'm going to add, again, Stampin' Seal, and we're just going to put this on the inside. I also have my June class on the 18th and 19th. That will feature the Flowers of Friendship bundle, and that one will either be a Zoom class on Friday the 18th or an in-person class here at my studio on the 19th. And you can register for both the events. There's a link on my Stampin' with Crafty Klock Facebook page under events. You can just go right ahead there and sign up there. So we have that. This is our Slimline card. Now let's go ahead. We want to add a piece of this mint macron. This is 8 1/4 by 3 1/4. So we're just going to go ahead and put that on the front. And again, these are all colors that coordinate with our, oh my goodness, and I'm out of Stampin' Seal, that coordinate with our designer series paper. Give me 1 second, folks. I have a ton of refills. I just have to go get it. Embarrassing when it ends in the middle of a live. But fortunately, it's pretty easy to pop the old one out and pop the new one in. And then we'll be good to go again. Does anybody have any good plans for the weekend? Hey, Missy, how are you? Thanks for watching. All right. We're going to go ahead and add this to the front. And these will fit in legal size envelopes, because I know somebody was asking me that the other day. Yes, they will fit in a legal size envelope. The legal size envelope will be a little bit bigger, but they also fit into an A9 envelope. I know you're thinking, what's an A9 envelope? And I cut my designer series paper, and I think I left it over on my other work table. So bear with me for 1 minute again. I am having a rough day. I thought I brought everything over, but I guess not. Okay. Hang on, folks. I don't know what I did with it. I really thought I put it in there. Well, now that I've screwed this up, I was going to have 2 pieces. This is 3 inches by 1.5 inches. And I was going to put one on each side, but I don't know what I did with it. It seems to have been misplaced. And I had everything cut and in here. Most distressing. Everything always develops legs and seems to walk off. This one might be just the right size. That one's close enough. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add these 2 pieces right there. This one might be a little tiny bit bigger than 1.5, and that will drive me crazy. So let me go trim it. All right. I'm back now, I promise, for the last time. So I'm going to go ahead and add those to each side of our card base. And again, these are 1.5 by 3. I just basically took a 3 by 3 inch square and cut it in half. Obviously, if you're good at math, you already knew that and you didn't need me to tell you that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add this. And it's been a long week already, but I can't believe, like I said, I can't believe it's June. I'm so excited because at the end of July, we're going to go and visit my in-laws up in Buffalo, and we haven't seen them since 2019. So we are pretty excited to go take our trip this year. All right, now I took all of these wonderful little dies that came with it, and you'll see here, there's a large flower, and there's like a triple leaf or a quadruple leaf. There's a double leaf, which is still stuck in there. There are these, like what I'm going to call a medium-sized flower. We have like the daddy flower, the mommy flowers, and there's 2 of these. There's 1 of the big one, 2 of the medium ones, and 3 of the baby dies. So these were cut out in Blushing Bride for the big one, Daffodil Delight, Highland Heather, and Garden Green for the leaves. So we're going to go ahead and add these just in a minute. I just want to make sure I get all of these little things punched out. Okay. Because we're going to go and do some stamping on there, and this one doesn't want to come out. Let me see. I hate when this happens, and I don't know. I thought I had my U-Pick tool, but I guess oh, here it is. Yay, I actually found something when I needed it. Ay, ay, ay. Just one of those days, folks. There we go. Because I have my die brush around here somewhere. And for those of you who might be new, I moved about a month ago, and it's been a process and a journey to find all my stuff and get it unpacked. Because I came from a fully finished studio into one that is being worked on as we speak. It's maybe a quarter of the way done. My husband's doing it. He's doing a fabulous job, but he works full time, so he's doing it around his schedule. So now for this, I'm going to use Mint Macron to match the front of our card. So I'm going to take the thanks stamp, and I am going to, again, pull up my stamper out. It's just for a minute. And I'm just going to stamp the thanks kind of right down there. All right. So there we go. I love that font. Don't you love that font? Isn't that pretty? Okay. This time I promise we're really done with the stamping, because now we're going to do some gluing. So let me pull. And well, actually, I lied. We're not really done with the stamping because I forgot I wanted to stamp some leaves on. But the reason I'm not stamping them on yet is because, one, I want to put them together so that they are, I want to do it like that. And we're going to stamp these in the Mint Macron. But first I want to lay down my flowers and my other leaves, because we're going to stamp those around the others. So I just want to see what my layout will look like, because some will have the leaves and some won't. I don't know where I want to put all this stuff. Okay. So let's see. So I think we'll put this over here maybe. Okay, and this is just really how it appeals to you. It doesn't really matter. But then we're going to take these leaves and these flowers here, these other little ones, are going to get the stamped flowers. So I'm going to stamp one there, and that will cover that. I'm going to stamp one there. Oh, brother. Okay, let's stamp this one kind of coming down like that. Like that. And then we will stamp one more kind of over here. All right. Now I'm just going to go ahead and take my glue, and I'm just going to very carefully try to glue all of these pieces down. It's not going to take much. This liquid glue is really kind of not my friend. I know some demonstrators swear by it, but I don't know. I guess I'm just not glue savvy, because no matter how hard I try to use the littlest, tiniest amount possible, somehow it always ends up all over my card. But we keep trying, because it doesn't really take much. You just need a little tiny bit, at least for this, because it's not like a three-dimensional project where you're gonna have to worry about it staying together. We just want these to stay on the card. And because it's a flat surface, I think we'll be okay. Okay, there we go. So it's easy for the ones that are just going on top of the stamped leaves. Those will be easy to just kind of glue down because you only got one moving part. See, and that's what I mean. Some of the glue just starts to come out, and then it gets all over my fingers and all over the card front. But we persevere on. Okay. So, and then we're going to add, at the very end, we're going to add a couple of rhinestones to the to the center of the flowers. And I kind of wanted to get some ribbon on there, but I can't find, I wanted the like white crinkle seam binding. I know I have like 3 rolls of it somewhere, and I just couldn't find it. So if I find it, I may go back and add that, but for tonight, we're just going to go without the ribbon, which makes me kind of sad, but you know, sometimes it is what it is. The ribbon just wasn't going to be found tonight. Guarantee you I will find it tomorrow when I'm looking for something else. But I was looking for something else today, and I found my old little Ott light. I was so happy, my desktop Ott light. I was like so happy. It's only been like 5 years since I was able to find it because it was in a box for that long. Anyway, we were happy to find that. All right, so now we're done. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to add some of these rhinestones right into the middle, just to kind of make these flowers pop just a little tiny bit. You don't really need it, but I don't know, I just like a little bit of sparkle. And can you believe I did not use one single Stampin' Dimensional tonight? That's almost unheard of for me. But these cards didn't really call for it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. With these flowers being like so intricately die cut, there really wasn't a way to use the dimensionals. So I'm like, well, that's fine. And that is it. So don't forget, let me know you're here. Comment, like, heart, something. Oh, that one's not going to stick. And I'll enter you in the raffle to see who's going to win these 2 cards that we made tonight. So that's it. That's our hand-penned petal suite. I really like it. I hope you do too. And I hope that you will come back for another episode of Stampin' with Crafty Klock. And that's it for me tonight, folks. Thanks so much. I will see you next week right here at Stampin' with Crafty Klock. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.